The Rock was behind Cody Rhodes' WWE Undisputed Championship loss, the best and worst of WWE SmackDown, Shakeup in WWE Creative hierarchy. Triple H is not handling WWE Creative alone. WWE star suffers a career-ending injury. CM Punk's terrible backstage attitude leaked. Stephanie Vaquer sends a message after getting injured. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE SmackDown. This week's WWE SmackDown kicked off WWE's Europe tour ahead of the Royal Rumble PLE. The show featured some stellar bouts between top WWE stars, including not one but two title matches. Triple H crafted a solid show for the Berlin crowd that had the fans on the edge of their seats. Therefore, it can be said that last night's show was pretty good, if not perfect. The event was headlined by a blockbuster 3 stages of hell match between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Apart from that, Julia also defended her Women's United States title against veteran Alexa Bliss. Moreover, the show featured a decent lineup of young talents, including Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Jordynne Grace. Number 1. The best. Trick Williams getting a segment with Randy Orton. Trick Williams made his debut last week on WWE SmackDown. It was clear that WWE envisions him as a top star for the company. Therefore, it was announced that Williams will face Rey Fenix in a match on SmackDown in Berlin. But before that match, the former NXT champion confronted the legend killer, Randy Orton, to kick off this week's show. Williams made it clear that he is on the show to make a name for himself, and therefore, he wants to go after the Viper. While Orton had the last laugh in the encounter, it was enough to shine a big spotlight on Trick Williams. He was presented as a cocky heel, and the segment served as an effective introduction to the global main roster audience. Number 2. The worst. WWE Creative doesn't have much for you. Randy Orton returned to SmackDown last week after several months off TV. The Viper kicked things off from Berlin so the fans could sing along to his theme. Trick Williams cut him off. Instead of Trick Willie getting one over on the legend, Orton stood tall to close the segment. He also fended off The Miz, which was the most likely ending to the encounter. Officials probably booked it that way because Trick was going to defeat Rey Fenix in the next match. It feels like WWE Creative doesn't know what to do with one of their favorite sons, and that he appeared just for the sake of appearing. Number 3. The best. MFT finally overcoming the Wyatt Six. MFT has been feuding with the Wyatt Six for more than 2 months now. While the rivalry had a strong start, it landed pretty flat after a few weeks. This week, the two factions faced each other in an 8-man tag team match. The match was decent enough to give a proper payoff to this prolonged feud. With a strong ending, MFT managed to pick up the win over the Wyatts. It seemed like Triple H had finally moved on with this ongoing faction warfare. Fans were enjoying Solo Sikoa and his faction over the past few weeks. WWE can use this momentum to give MFT a big push in the coming weeks. Therefore, a win over WWE Tag Team Champions was enough to fuel its momentum. With that, now fans are excited to see what is next for Sikoa's family. Number 4. The worst. Rey Fenix loses his first match back on SmackDown after months. Rey Fenix was one of the more exciting additions to WWE in 2025. After a decent run in AEW, he faded into the background as big-name free agents like Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay joined the company. The former AEW star last competed on SmackDown on November 21st, losing in a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination contest. Fenix faced Trick Williams in his SmackDown debut this week. For the most part, the match was close. WWE booking one of its more exciting stars to lose in his first match back in over a month is a misstep. Even having Trick pull the tights in the finish doesn't help Phoenix's position. Number 5. The best. Solid start for the new year for Carmelo Hayes and Jordynne Grace, and others. Last night's WWE SmackDown had a solid lineup of fresh stars on the show. Names like Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and Jordynne Grace were featured in prominent matches to give them a promising start to 2026. Williams received a good booking with a segment with the Viper and a win over Rey Fenix later on in their match. Meanwhile, Hayes successfully defended his United States title against Shinsuke Nakamura. Moreover, Jordynne Grace faced Alba Fire on the show, where she earned herself an easy win. After the match, Grace was confronted by the WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill in the entranceway. The two stars had an intense stare-down, where it was teased that WWE could be setting up their feud down the line. These segments were a breath of fresh air in the WWE product. Number 6. The worst. Making it seem like Alexa Bliss can't win without Charlotte Flair. While it's true Alexa Bliss was outnumbered on SmackDown since Charlotte Flair was absent with a cold, the narrative feels a bit strange. Bliss claimed she didn't know she was getting a random match with Women's US Champion Julia, which was another strange reveal during the show. While she was on the phone with the Queen, Nia Jax and Lash legend walked over to bully Bliss. They made it 4-on-1 in the ring by costing her against the Beautiful Madness. Even if Flair had been present, it would have been 4-on-2. The numbers game explanation usually works better if it were 2-on-1. Number 7. The best. Jacob Fatu's return on WWE SmackDown. Jacob Fatu made his return to WWE SmackDown this week. He was out for the past few weeks due to a dental issue. The Samoan werewolf jumped into the Undisputed WWE Championship main event of the show to take out Drew McIntyre. But he even attacked Cody Rhodes, which eventually became the reason for his loss in the 3 Stages of Hell match. Fatu's return was pretty much needed to raise the stakes for the main event scene of SmackDown. Over the past few weeks, McIntyre and Rhodes were the only 2 men who were carrying WWE SmackDown's main event scene. Triple H brought back Jacob at the right time, and now there is a buzz about his role on the brand moving forward. Number 8. The worst. Is one win enough for a potential shot at the undisputed WWE title? Before the main event match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, SmackDown GM Nick Aldis revealed that Saturday night's main event will host a fatal 4-way to determine who will face the undisputed WWE champion at the Royal Rumble. Former world champions like Damian Priest, The Miz, and Randy Orton were included, along with Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and Ilya Dragunov. Trick Williams was also included, as he'll face Matt Cardona. Cardona is at least a longtime veteran. It feels like one win is all it takes to earn a title shot. Rey Fenix, Shinsuke Nakamura, Carmelo Hayes, and Aleister Black were not chosen. Number 9. The best. Drew McIntyre becoming undisputed WWE champion. Drew McIntyre finally became the undisputed WWE champion this week on WWE SmackDown. It was the correct decision by Triple H, as the Scottish Warrior had already endured some big losses against Cody Rhodes. Besides, WWE has already screwed him in his previous world title matches. Therefore, it was becoming frustrating not only for McIntyre but for the fans as well. Now that Drew has claimed the WWE Championship in front of the fans, WWE has finally put closure on his prolonged story. Additionally, the company needed a shocking moment to fuel the excitement for the Royal Rumble PLE. With Rhodes dropping the title just days ahead of the beginning of the road to WrestleMania 42, things have become more unpredictable than ever. Number 10. The worst. Drew McIntyre can't win via pinfall? This is more of a nitpick, but it is an issue nonetheless. Bookers protect their top stars by not having them eat pinfalls, unless a big change is coming. Cody Rhodes assumed Roman Reigns' role as the face of the company and is rarely pinned. Rhodes pinned McIntyre in their last encounter, but the Scottish Warrior only won on SmackDown by escaping the cage. It's technically a way to win, but officials should have allowed McIntyre to definitively pin his hated rival to win the title. Jacob Fatu's emergence will explain and protect the American Nightmare, but he was standing at the end of the 3 stages. Having McIntyre win a grueling match with 3 falls should have ended with a pin on his rival. It paints Cody as Super Cena and protects him more than it makes McIntyre seem like a monster. Even CM Punk ate a pinfall during War Games. Shakeup in WWE Creative hierarchy. Triple H is not handling WWE Creative alone. There has been a shakeup in WWE when it comes to the creative of shows, and Triple H is not the only one in charge of things. While the game was always helped by others, now a big name is involved more with SmackDown after the shakeup. For a long time now, Triple H is the big name that everyone has heard about whenever it comes to the creative direction of WWE and what happens on the show. However, he is not alone in dealing with what's happening in the company and booking the shows. Several names are involved in the creative booking of the shows, and now, as per Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, there has been a shakeup within the company as to the structure of the hierarchy for SmackDown. Triple H is the main man in charge. Bruce Pritchard and Ed Koskey are involved, but they are also in charge of distribution of information in the company. Ryan Ward has stepped up in a big way and is the one in charge of handling all creative pitches to the game. For Raw, the co-lead writers are Jonathan Bakestrom and Alexandra Williams. John Swikata and Road Dogg are the ones heading SmackDown, but Ward has become very involved for the creative of the Blue brand after the recent shakeup. William Regal and Michael Hayes are also involved in the process now. John Swikata and Brian James, Road Dogg, are the co-lead writers of SmackDown. Ward has been picking up a lot of the slack on SmackDown. William Regal and Michael Hayes are also involved. Nothing has really changed in the last few months on this, except there were issues with SmackDown creative that have been said to now be improved, but it was said to be a minimal shakeup. Basically a little push-up for Ward and a little push-down for Swikata and James. It remains to be seen if there are any further changes, and whether Ryan Ward taking charge really helps change the direction for the show going forward. The coming weeks should reveal more about any changes. WWE star suffers a career-ending injury. A WWE superstar has suffered a horrifying injury, and now Rhea Ripley, Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, and others have reacted. They took to Instagram to share their comments. Earlier today, Elton Prince sent out a message revealing that he had suffered an injury during a match, which kept him out of action for months. He went on to say he had surgery and was working on returning after the potentially career-ending injury. He added that he was now focused on getting healthy and reclaiming the basics so he could be the best father and give his his partner, Kelly Kincaid, a good night of sleep. Kit Wilson has since sent a message discussing what really happened in the ring and what Prince went through because of his injury. He went on to say that he hoped the star recovered soon and would be healthy. But thanks to the efforts of the WWE medical staff and Dr. Cantor, Gina and the Hogue team, we found the problem, and yesterday I successfully underwent a 2-level neck fusion. Not exactly where I hoped to be at 28, but we are owed nothing in this life, and I am just grateful to be on the road to recovery. I want to thank everybody who has messaged or commented to ask how and where I am. It's been nice to not feel forgotten, and I will try my hardest to overcome all the obstacles and get back in the ring for you. But my focus right now is just getting healthy and reclaiming the basics, like being able to be the best dad I can be for my daughter, as at Kelly Kincaid WWE is long overdue a good night's sleep. I can't thank her enough for the support and help during all this, and while I'm recovering, I'm excited to watch my brother at KitWilson_PD crush everything he does and get a well-deserved spotlight shown on him. Wilson was not the only one to react. Rhea Ripley, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, and other WWE superstars have reacted to the news as well, sending Prince their well wishes and letting him know that they were with him. Rhea Ripley sent her support by reacting to the post along with several others. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce let the star know that they were with him, as did Wade Barrett. Nick Aldis: "We all have your back, brother." Adam Pearce: "Thinking of you, my brother." Tonga Loa: "Wishing you a healthy recovery. Whatever you need, please let us know." It remains to be seen when the star can return to action. CM Punk's terrible backstage attitude leaked. CM Punk doesn't like anybody crossing him, which has resulted in him getting involved in several feuds. Interestingly, he once scared a co-star he was working with in the horror movie Night Patrol. Now, Freddie Gibbs has come forward with his account of how Punk frightened him and also gave him his most loved experience while filming. TMZ uploaded a video clip of Gibbs speaking at the premiere of the movie in Los Angeles on January 8, 2026. Sitting alongside Nikki Michaud, RJ Seiler, Nick Gilly, and director Ryan Prose, the rapper said that he had accidentally cut Punk's hand while shooting a fighting scene. He noted that the world heavyweight champion wasn't holding back, which made him think that professional wrestling isn't all that fake after all. He said that he believed that CM Punk was probably mad at him, but it wasn't the case. Interestingly, he talked about the incident while describing his favorite moment while making the movie. "My favorite moment on set? Well, it was a scary moment. For real. I'm gonna tell the truth. I ain't even told nobody this sheish yet. I thought that CM Punk was mad at me for real. So like, for an hour I was walking around that like, hey, there might be a real fighting with this with a wrestler. That ain't, yeah, I'm not gonna win this esh. But we did the scene where I had to shoot him when he was trying to get into the apartment. I had the gun, and I swung that esh up, you remember? And it cut his hand, for real. It was cut, and he walked away F you. I said, damn, this mother got injured, for real, and it's my fault. He gonna F me up, so, yeah, and he's strong as F for real. I was yeah, that's WWF, F. That ain't fake. But, that was probably my most memorable part of the shoot. You know what I mean? That day I was scared as F. It was cool though, man. It was a great time. Night Patrol is a movie that showcases officers of the Los Angeles Police Department dealing with several vampires. The film will be officially released on January 16th, 2026. CM Punk defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker on Raw's first Netflix anniversary. The Vision's Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul tried to interfere in the match, but were chased away by Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Penta. The unpredictable Bad S had a clear physical advantage over Punk, but the straight-edge superstar didn't struggle too much against his opponent. Breaker tried to land a GTS on the World Heavyweight Champion, but Punk pulled off a reversal and used his rival John Cena's STF lock on the dog of WWE. The final moments of the match saw Breaker going for his superfast spear, but CM Punk intercepted the move by landing a knee on Breaker's head. He followed it with a GTS to retain the title. It would be interesting to see how the rest of 2026 goes for the Second City Saint. Stephanie Vaquer sends a message after getting injured. WWE superstar Stephanie Vaquer announced that she is injured on this week's episode of Raw. Shortly after, she was attacked by Raquel Rodriguez, who targeted the injured ankle of the women's world champion. Following this, Vaquer has sent a message to showcase her resolve. Taking to X, La Primera uploaded several pictures of herself in her gear, posing with her title. She wasn't wearing the walking boot she had strapped on for her promo on WWE Raw, as shown in the images. Captioning the tweet, she wrote, "In 2026, I'll keep reminding all of you that the champion's name is Stephanie Vaquer." She had said these words on Raw's first Netflix anniversary as well, but she was speaking to the crowd in Spanish then. The Dark Angel had injured her ankle during her triple threat title defense against Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez on December 29, 2025. She noted that the injury wouldn't stop her from doing anything, and instead of relinquishing the Women's World Championship, she would return soon. While La Primera is currently nursing her injury injured ankle, she has already been booked for another title defense. Moreover, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Stephanie Vaquer will put her belt on the line ahead of the Royal Rumble. The premium live event is scheduled for January 31st, 2026 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Thus, she would most likely be ready for in-ring action by the time the January 26th episode of Raw airs. Vaquer could also be booked for the January 24th episode of Saturday night's main event. So far, it seems that Stephanie Vaquer will be facing Raquel Rodriguez once more. The Judgment Day member has already lost to La Primera once, and one of her title shots ended in a no contest because of Nikki Bella. Big Mommy Cool had floored Bella with a Tejana bomb in the triple threat encounter, but the Dark Angel made an opportunistic move by pushing Rodriguez out of the ring and pinning Bella instead. It would be interesting to see if Vaquer can tackle Rodriguez once again. The Rock was behind Cody Rhodes' WWE Undisputed Championship loss. Jacob Fatu and The Rock are related, sharing the same family tree. There is a wild chance that it was all a setup by the People's Champion to hunt the American Nightmare. Soon, the Brahma Bull may return to the Stamford-based promotion and reveal the secret that he was the one who sent Fatu to cost Rhodes his title, setting up a feud for WrestleMania 42. The Final Boss and the American Nightmare have been engaged in a feud since WWE WrestleMania 40, and it's been 2 years. Their rivalry hasn't reached a conclusion as of now. World Wrestling Entertainment needs to end this feud. This year's Showcase of the Immortals could finally be booked as the finale of the long-term storyline between The Rock and Cody. If somehow the Attitude Era legend could tie himself to Rhodes' title loss, he could directly enter the equation with the 40-year-old former champion. The Scottish Warrior shares a close bond with the Final Boss, and the two have been spotted together multiple times. Also, Drew never misses a chance to explain how far his relationship with the Brahma Bull has gone. In a wild speculation, there is a chance that the Scottish Warrior sold his soul to The Rock, as John Cena turned babyface last year at WWE SummerSlam, and soon the American Nightmare clinched the title. McIntyre could have come after him on The Rock's orders, and in 2026, finally finished his job of dethroning Rhodes.